Everybody, this is April, the Artistic Gardener. Hey, welcome to my winter garden, folks. Yeah, I'll kind of pan a little bit here for you. This is just the south end of one of my beds, and it's actually the only bed right now that's planted out and is doing pretty much anything here for me. But since I'm out here, I wanted to share with you my process and how I actually plant my little soil blocks that I make. Oops, sorry about that. So basically, so here's one of my little plants, so you can see. And these soil blocks, I make them. I have a custom blend mix that I make up, and and yeah, these blocks here will actually air prune the roots. You can see a little bit of roots coming out, but when you plant these, there is literally zero stress on these plants, because as soon as you put them in to the ground here, they will just take off into the soil in your bed as if it was just already there and already existed for them. They don't know any different because they're contained. Their roots are contained in these little blocks here. So what I want to show you is, so right now I have this dug up and I have a hole, and I use a bulb planter. So you can see that this one, actually this is really nice. So when you go down, I just go right up to that top part of the metal when I go down into the soil, and it holds the soil in the bulb planter, and then when I push this, you can see it actually releases the soil. And it's the perfect size hole for my little soil blocks, just a little bit bigger. But what I do then is I'm like doing this one-handed, so I take the soil and I drop it in. And you can see I did a little bit. Then I put a little bit of amendment, and right now I'm using Down to Earth Biofish. It's a really nice all-purpose, about a tablespoon of that. I just sprinkle it in there. But it's a really nice all-purpose fertilizer. It's OMRI certified organic and just has some really good stuff in it. So I think it's got like fish and a few other things. You can look it up online. And Star Nursery, I think, actually is selling this product now. So way cool for local purchases, I'm telling you. So yeah, I've dropped that in. Add a little bit more soil. I mix it up because I don't want that fertilizer touching the roots of my plant. So I'll basically test to see. And you can see it's a little bit too deep. So I'll pull them back out. And with soil blocks, and actually even with transplants, a lot of people tend to not plant them deep enough, and especially soil blocks. You want to actually plant your soil blocks right up underneath the lowest leaf, and not the cotyledon. The cotyledons will be buried, but it's that lower leaf section. And no, it's not too deep, because what happens if you plant it shallow, these blocks have peat moss in them. You can also use coconut coir, but if it touches the air, it will dry out these blocks very easily. So you plant them deep, and I've been doing this for 5 years with these soil blocks, which I absolutely love, but I've had no problems with them. So, with that said, so I've tested it, and it's the right depth. Then I have a product that basically it's different rock dust, several different microbial packages. It has some basalt rock in it, some really, really good stuff. There's a ton of stuff. But basically I just kind of sprinkle that around the hole, about a tablespoon. And you want to just leave that. You don't want to mix that in, because you want that to actually touch the roots, because it does have mycorrhiza in it and a bunch of other stuff. So we'll kind of set that in there. Then I just don't take my soil and backfill. I actually kind of take the sides and collapse them into my soil block. I don't know if you can see that very well. But I collapse them in, take the soil, bring it around, and lightly put it up against the base of the plant. And I do not pack my soil. I don't push down and try to pack it around. I let the water do that for me. So when I water this in, I'll water it in with some kelp. And I let that settle the soil down, because you want air and oxygen into your soil. And by squeezing it, pushing it, compacting it, you'll just squeeze out all the air in it. And that's not good for your microbes at all, or your plant roots. So you want it nice and fluffy and not compacted. So next I would just water this puppy in, and we're pretty much done, and he's ready to take off. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Hope you learned something. Bye-bye. Happy gardening.